shortly. Well, just to go through the teams, Kenny will be running a duo primal team with Salamence, Smeargle, Bronzong, Groudon, Kyogre, and Kangaskhan.
And Zhen Yuan will be running a men's Regice, Whimsicott, Azumarill, Aegislash, and Blaziken.
So the thing that stands out immediately is that Zhen Yuan is not carrying any legendaries.
I would consider Regice a legendary, but not one of the
restricted legendaries, definitely.
Yeah.
And well, he does not seem to be particularly alarmed from team review, so I guess it's sunk in by now, and he's about to play against both Groudon and Kyogre without his own primal legendary.
So I don't know, it's an interesting match to see VGC16 versus VGC15, which is the superior meta. Although we can all safely say that we are placing our bets on VGC16.
A friend of ours, Alan Chia, is very proud of the fact that he has won a VGC16 game with a VGC15 team this year.
So that is not entirely impossible, and we'll see if Zhen Yuan can pull out the plays needed for him to top.
So really, it has to be noted that Zhen Yuan has very little to stop Groudon once Trick Room goes out from Kenny's side.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Azumarill immediately stands out as a counter, but because of Groudon's Desolate Land, I don't think he can land any water attacks.
Kenny just leave the Salamence and Whimsicott?
No, that's Zhen Yuan.
Oh, that's Zhen Yuan. Yeah. For a moment I thought Kenny was running Wing's Salamence.
Alright, and we do see a men's mirror match with the Groudon on Kenny's side and the Whimsicott on Zhen Yuan's side.
Intimidate does come out first for Zhen Yuan, but it's probably indicative of a mirror, or rather a speed tie, since Mans is not likely to be running less than max speed this year.
Indeed.
Unless you're Jira, so that's adamant for some reason.
Well, I would want to see what kind of support moves Whimsicott can pull out, since I don't think... Will Kenny's Groudon want to stay in after that Intimidate? I don't think so. And I think Kenny will be looking to set up the Trick Room as well, since he did show the...
You kind of question at this point what Kenny has up his sleeve, because the Salamence is not really built for Kenny's Trick Room mode. Which makes you wonder whether Kenny has brought his fast mode instead, which means dual primals with the Salamence and the Smeargle as opposed to the Bronzong. And Bronzong at this point, I suppose if he has Bronzong will be a good switch in, but Kenny not choosing to make a switch. I think Kenny might be going straight for a straight offense, and we might be seeing a Tailwind come out from his side of the field.
Yeah, and do we see a Mega as well? Yes, we do see. So both of the players running Mega.
We do know for sure now that it is a speed tie, since Kenny Megaing first despite getting his Intimidated off second. And Zhen Yuan will protect his Salamence. Wary of a Draco Meteor. As Whimsicott goes for a Tailwind, will Kenny match the Tailwind on his side? Kenny actually goes straight for the attack. Hyper Voice into the Whimsicott. Are we going to see a Focus Sash? Yes, we do. Focus Sash come out.
Does Groudon go for the attack here? And goes for the Rock Slide.
And
avoids the Whimsicott.
That is actually not ideal for Zhen Yuan at all. Zhen Yuan would much prefer getting Whimsicott off the field, get a sweeper in to take advantage of the Tailwind.
Indeed, I mean, you could argue it's a bit of a toss-up, because if Kenny had maybe gone for a support move like you mentioned, the Tailwind on the Mans, then his Whimsicott would have incentives to stay in to Encore and push the pressure to his side.
Yeah, but I think Kenny realized that Whimsicott was probably Sash, so to get off the field he needed to double target it.
Well, he did hedge his bets a little. He did go for spread attacks both there with the Hyper Voice and the Rock Slide. So Whimsicott now Encore not really going to be a very good move here. So does he want to retreat, or I think he still wants to stay in?
Kenny makes the Groudon switch quite wisely, because Intimidated, as we saw Rock Slide, so Kenny is probably rounding a fully physical Groudon, which does not like Intimidate at all. And Bronzong does come out, as Worry comes out onto the Bronzong. So Zhen Yuan hoping to turn off the weather, but it went off anyways, his Groudon left the field. And now we see why he chose to turn it off. Salamence revealing the Hydro Pump, which would have KO'd the Groudon. Kenny making a fantastic switch there, as Hyper Voice will pick off the Whimsicott and do a good deal of amount of damage to Zhen Yuan's Salamence.
Yeah, I think Zhen Yuan definitely prepared for the VGC16 meta down there. The Worry Seed to remove the Desolate Land, and the Hydro Pump to get the KO, the surprise KO on the Groudon. Although
a very dangerous surprise for that matter. 80% even when you get it off.
I mean, it would have made more sense to use that play with the Azumarill instead, I feel.
Certainly a more accurate move, that's for sure.
And Zhen Yuan loses his Whimsicott, brings out the Aegislash. Should be able to tackle the Bronzong quite comfortably.
A very good choice against the Bronzong, but not the best option to abuse Tailwind.
And I'm not sure if Zhen Yuan has enough firepower to take out the Bronzong, which might mean, he
goes for fires off the Draco Meteor, so revealing his Salamence to be a fully special Salamence. And will take out Kenny's Salamence in a single hit. though will lose his special attack, and we have good reason to suspect that that Salamence is fully special and is now neutered for the rest of the battle.
And AG Slash actually goes for the attack here. Should be able to take out the Bronzong with a
No,
Shadow
I don't
Ball.
think so. Bronzong has a lot of special bulk. Unless AG Slash is carrying a boosting item. Oh, actually does take out the Bronzong.
It was
With
a
the
critical-
crit. Yes,
critical
he
hit.
needed that crit there. Kenny most likely running a sassy Bronzong. So Zhen Yuan does pick up 2 KOs, but at the cost of a -2 Salamence, who is probably fully special. Groudon comes in unintimidated, and we'll enjoy looking at that EG Slash right now.
Oh, okay, but we'll have to see which weather comes
No,
into
we will
play.
know it's going to be Kyogre, because Kyogre has not primal reverted yet. So he will get his weather off.
So then Kenny has to watch out for the Hydro Pump from the Mans. Then Zhen Yuan, I would want to preserve his Mans.
At this stage though, the problem here is that now Zhen Yuan has absolutely nothing to stop, well, a Water Spout sweep. Firing Wide Guard from the AG Slash. Now would actually be the time. And actually, since we've seen both Worry Seed and Hydro Pump, Zhen Yuan actually has a pretty good chance of carrying Wide Guard, since he seems pretty prepared for the threats of the VG16 meta.
So does Kenny fall into that trap? I mean, it is the first game, and all this is information that Kenny can use for the next 2 games if necessary.
Groudon has to protect here. Hydro Pump even at -2 is more than enough to take out Groudon in the rain. But at the same time, if Wide Guard comes out, then, well, Zhen Yuan can dodge a Water Spout as well, which will clear the field for
I have to
Kenny.
feel Kenny should maybe go for an Ice Beam on the Mans.
Yeah, the Mans is definitely the bigger threat here, but at the same time, it is at -2. And you actually fancy Kenny's chances of winning the game with Kyogre alone. Oh, Zhen Yuan goes for the double protect, stalling out his own turns of Tailwind, which might come into play. I think Zhen Yuan is hoping to catch the Groudon protecting as well. Did Kenny fall for that? Oh,
And
Kenny did
yes.
fall for it, going for his own protect on the Groudon. As Kyogre reveals the Thunder onto the Salamence slot.
So no.
As Tailwind peters out, but Salamence is still going to be the fastest thing on the field.
So I do expect the Hydro Pump to be coming Groudon's way. If it connects, it could spell very bad news for Kenny. And Zhen Yuan still does have one more Pokemon at the back that he has not revealed yet. Could easily be the Azumarill, which would enjoy this weather, although it does have to watch out for the Kyogre's Thunder.
At this point, Kenny stands a very good chance of clearing the game with Kyogre alone, since Groudon is going to go down to Hydro Pump unless he gets out the double protect. So Kenny probably wants to go for that, and Zhen Yuan actually chooses to bring back the Salamence, not taking the free KO on the Groudon.
And it is the Regice.
Reduce the Regice, who is going to actually...
And we do see the Wide Guard come out
Wide
from
Guard
the
does come from
East
AG Slash, as expected. Zhen Yuan very prepared for the VGC16 threats. Origin Pulse will go into the Wide Guard, as does the Precipice Blades, a fantastic turn for Zhen Yuan here. But one actually thinks that he would have been better off staying in and Hydro Pumping the Groudon.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I don't really see what the Regice brings into the table.
And now he's exposing it to the threat of the Groudon.
I kind of feel that he wants to reset the Mance's special attack drop. That's the reason for
But
his
Mance
switch.
is not doesn't really want to be going off against Kyogre on his own, which is what Regice wants to do. But Regice can't fight Groudon. And the free KO was there for Zhen Yuan.
And a Wide Guard comes out again. What
But
will
Kenny
play?
is not going to fall for that a second time.
We'll
His
see
Kyogre
what
will
other
go for the
moves.
Thunder. Into the AG Slash slot, wanting to get rid of the Wide Guard. Not a lot of damage, gets the paralysis. So now Wide Guard is only going to have a 75% chance of going off.
And Precipice plays into the Wide Guard. What does Regice goes for the Thunder as well. Actually, this could be quite bad for Kenny. If Zhen Yuan manages to take out the Kyogre.
Oh, he gets his own paralysis as well. Kenny looking in a very dangerous spot here against a team without legendaries.
Well, once again, I say that Regice is a legendary, but not one of the not one of the restricted legendaries.
The problem for Kenny here is that Regice it has absolutely nothing to fear on the field right now with Wide Guard next to it. Because
Yes.
Groudon's only single target attack is the Fire Punch, which
does
cannot
not
go off
work in the rain. So, I mean, and Regice's special defense is quite high, so he can trade attacks with Kyogre all day. And he does have the Mance at the back with the Hydro Pump to be able to KO the Groudon.
At this point, Kenny kind of needs to fish for the Wide Guard paralysis, which he doesn't get here.
Wide Guard goes off again.
And he does go, as in, Kenny really has no choice. Kenny needs that paralysis right now.
And Regice shows the Icy Wind here.
Questionable, because really, Regice should be finishing on the Kyogre as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Once
indeed.
Kyogre goes down, Salamence picks off the Groudon, no
And
problem.
I mean, yeah, the Kyogre is already paralyzed. You know the Mance at the back outspeeds the Groudon. There's no real reason to go for a speed control move. More damage on the Kyogre to get the KO would have been, I think, more ideal.
And Kenny, as we see, he's just going for that 75% chance. Or 25% rather. Because he really has no other option. As long as Wide Guard is on the field, Kenny cannot get enough damage off on both of Zhen Yuan's Pokemon.
Wait, what did Kyogre go for?
He went for the Origin Pulse into the White Guard.
I kind of feel that maybe he should have gone for Thunder instead. Oh, but yeah.
Oh, White Guard does work again. Kenny not getting the Paralysis Rolls he needs at this point.
And Regice goes for the Thunder. Should not be able to take out the Kyogre.
Should bring Kyogre into the red this time. Yep, Kyogre into the red. As Groudon will Precipice into the White Guard. And Kyogre thunders into the EG Slash slot. Or into the Regice. He needs the Paralysis here. He really needs it to be paralyzed. Which he does not get.
Does not get. Well, I mean, there is still one more turn left. If the AG Slash is not fully paralyzed this
Kenny's
turn...
only chance here is that EG Slash needs to be fully paralyzed. His Kyogre needs to not be fully paralyzed and needs to protect.
That is asking for a lot.
Yes, but Kenny really has no other outs at this point. He needs to land the Precipice Blades. It's his only chance to get out of this situation. Actually, yeah, it is his only chance at this point. He even needs to crit the Regice.
Well, that being said, this is only game 1. So
Yes, Kenny does get the protect off. Will he get the White Guard? Oh,
No.
but EG Slash does get the White Guard off. Can he pretty much seals Kenny's fate here? Regice thunders into the Kyogre, but Groudon will not get the Precipice Blades, and EG Slash stays able to White Guard. And at this point, Precipice Blades might not even take out the EG Slash.
now I guess he has to
Try
protect,
again.
a
Yes.
double protect on
Get
top
double
of
protect
the
through the
paralysis,
paralysis, and hope EG Slash gets fully paralyzed.
which has not happened at all throughout this first round actually.
I suppose Kenny at this point, oh no, White Card does go off again. Kenny just not getting what he needs. As Thunder will finish off Kyogre, and Groudon will be open to the Salamence coming in from the back.
I mean, he doesn't. Zhen Yuan doesn't even have to bring the Salamence in. I mean, he just.
Kenny's only chance here is that if he Fire Punches. Did he go for Fire Punch? No, he went for Precipice into White Guard again. If he had Fire Punch there, then he still had a chance because Hydro Pump can miss. But now he's about to take 2 attacks from both the Regice and the EG Slash. I think Kenny's fate is sealed. And you have to think Kenny will be going on tilt for the game start 3. He just lost to a team without legendaries.
Yes, a VGC16. Well, I would say this
He's
is
built
pretty,
for 16
Yeah, it's
definitely.
built for 16. But there's a lot of tech here that I feel that Kenny can try and play around with.
Ice Beam into the Groudon, doing a good amount of damage. As Fire Punch into the EG Slash, will pick it off. And no, without the Sun, it will not. Will he finally get Paralysis now and Kenny doesn't need it? No, he actually gets the attack off and should pick up the KO. Or not. Groudon fairly bulky.
Though it matters not, I believe with the Icy Wind drop, Regice should be able to pick up the KO here, no problems, and we will be moving on to game 2 with first match in Zhen Yuan's favor.
I really wouldn't want to be in Kenny's shoes right now. He has information now, of course.
Yes.
And he really will have to think twice about keeping a Mance in against his opponent's Mance. Actually, now that I think about it, Kenny probably doesn't want to bring Mance at all. Against Regice, against Salamence, opposing Salamence.
Yeah, now that he knows that the Mance he's facing is fully special, I don't think he'll see the Azumarill or the Blaziken. So there's no real reason for him to bring the Mance. Maybe Kanga will be a better option for him instead.
Kenny might want to investigate going hard to room here.
Definitely. Although
Especially if he has a scrappy Kangaskhan to take out the EG Slash.
he does. Did we see what item the Bronzong is holding?
Oh, actually, no. I think Kenny is going into Smeargle mode.
That is a bit risky as well, I say. The Dark Void, and he does have to watch out for the Whimsicott having priority taunt, yes. I mean, we only did see the Encore and the Worry Scene earlier.
It's hard to say. I think Kenny has to do with either Kenny has to go all out with the Smeargle mode, or he has to go all out with the Trick Room because the speed is definitely not in his favor. And now that Hydro Pump has been revealed, he cannot keep his Groudon in, especially in front of the Whimsicott, who can take away the Sun. Kenny definitely approached the game thinking that Zhen Yuan had no way to change the weather. But now that OBC has been revealed, Kenny has to play a lot more carefully with his Groudon. He dodged the bullet by switching out Groudon in the first place. But then Groudon was kind of rendered useless for the rest of the game by both the EG Slash and the Salamence.
And since he brought in his own Kyogre, it kind of sealed his own fate as well, since he changed the weather to rain. I mean, maybe if he didn't bring the Kyogre and maybe had a Kanga.
Kanga is his best option in this matchup, most likely. As even with Regice's astronomical special defense, he doesn't like taking boosted water attacks. Even Regice has its limits.
Although, in that case, as we saw in the previous match, the white guy is going to be very troublesome for Kenny to deal with.
Yeah, at this point I think it's pretty certain to say that now that we've seen Thunder, we know that we pretty much know Kaga's full moveset, which is Thunder, Origin Pulse and Ice Beam. So his only single target attacks are the non-step moves. He doesn't have Skull to dodge white guard.
Well, will Kenny decide to break Smeargle here or decide to go full Trick Room? Well, since white guard doesn't block the Dark Void, that is an option there. He does have to watch out for the Whimsicott though.
But the change I expect Kenny to make definitely is to bring Kangaskhan. In fact, I kind of expect Kangaskhan Smeargle to come out here for Kenny, since he can figure out the Whimsicott and get a Dark Void off.
Ironically, that's another VGC16 lead.
That's what Kenny needs to do at this point. Kenny root VGC15, let's not forget.
And
I think he needs to go back to his roots here.
And we do see the Azu and the Whimsicott on scene.
Yes, we do see Kanga Smeargle as expected. Kenny going back to his roots and really putting himself in a fantastic position here.
So we do easy predict maybe the fake out on the Whimsy to stop the taunt from coming out. Dark Void to go onto both slots.
Yes. Now, he really has nothing to fear here. We know Whimsicott is Sash and Azumarill is like this Citrus Berry. Neither of these Pokemon can wake up from the Dark Void. And because Whimsicott likely has no actual attacks, he's probably going for a priority attack. And because he's going for a priority attack and gets faked out, he will not take a turn of sleep. Which allows Kenny to play very freely, since he doesn't have to worry about taunt coming up next turn.
Yeah, and even if he decides to switch here, it's just exposing his team to the mercy of Dark Void.
And I really don't see any of his Pokemon carrying Lumberry.
And no switches here. Kangaskhan goes for the Mega Evolution.
Kenny pretty much needs Dark Void to land.
Yes he does. The fake out should land on the Whimsicott.
Right, pick out onto the Whimsicott. To deny any potential taunt. Will Whimsicott flinch first? Whimsicott does flinch first, as Dark Void will go off and will land on at least one Pokemon.
The question is whether it landed on the Azu or the Whimsy. I mean the Azu...
Lands on the Azu, so no belly drum for Zhen this turn. And will land on Whimsicott as well, who has not taken a turn of sleep. So will not yet take a turn of sleep.
Perfect turn for Kenny for his setup here. So where does he want to go from here? Does he want to switch out his Smeargle for more pressure at the back?
Smeargle has to switch out here, definitely. He doesn't want to stay in and risk getting taunted by Whimsicott. And he's probably... and yeah. So he wants to go into a primer at this point. And the question now is, does he want to take the risk and power punch?
His Kangaskhan still has
or
power
if
punch.
If he carries power punch. With Smeargle, you never know. Since Smeargle does give Kangaskhan setup opportunities.
And question is...
No, actually it stays in. So Kenny hoping to catch a switch.
Zhen Yuan also doesn't switch.
So Smeargle stays into Dark Void, as Kangaskhan will go for the double edge into the Azumarill. We're definitely taking out of Belly Drum range here. Actually, no Citrus Berry.
Oh, doesn't... barely hangs on with 2 HP.
And Azumarill will not get a 1-turn wake up. So... but at the same time now, Azumarill has potential to wake up. And since he's not there taking a move, and actually reveals that he's not Citrus Berry, he might actually be Choice Banded. And if he is Choice Banded, Aqua Jet onto Kangaskhan might actually pick up the KO.
At this point though, Kenny does have Sucker Punch. Maybe he could... I mean, at this range, any attack is bound to KO the Azumarill.
But Kenny definitely regretting not making the switch out of his Smeargle here. And now he switches out a bit too late to take advantage of the free turn. But Kenny actually brought 2 of his support mons. Whimsicott does not get a 1-turn wake up, as Kangaskhan...
Or Azu
actually do see Aqua Jet come off. Is it banded? No, it is not banded. And Double Edge will pick it off. Kenny... oh, actually goes for the Whimsicott here. So, actually set himself up for the Trick Room.
I don't know if I like this team that
he hangs on there crucially and can now lock down Azumarill with Sucker Punch.
I don't know if I like Kenny's decision of bringing both the Bronzong and the Smeargle. Seeing that Smeargle is
see because it's really obvious to Kenny that his primals interfere with each other last game.
So the question is, did he bring the Kyogre or the Groudon as his last slot?
At this point, for Kenny's sake, I would hope it is the Kyogre, because he has no real way to bring down a Mance otherwise. And the Regice, which would stop Kyogre, will not enjoy taking Gyro Ball from the Bronzong.
Question is whether Bronzong will want to set up Trick Room this turn.
Kenny has a very free Sucker Punch to lock down the Azumarill, as well and let Bronzong set up Trick Room. But the thing is, I suppose now that we've seen 2 of Salaman's attacks, you suspect the last move has to be a flying attack.
Hyper Voice?
Yeah, Hyper Voice. So Kenny actually doesn't have to worry about potential Fire Blast, since we've seen all of Salaman's moves already. Barring, of course, what we expect to be a flying attack.
So Bronzong should be able to stay on the field to set up the Trick Room if it desires. Kangaskhan ideally will pick up the kill on the Azumarill here.
Can
Or
he
actually switches.
switch out? Is it the Groudon here? Or is it the Kyogre? It is the Kyogre, who will be taking a boosted Aqua Jet from the Azumarill.
How do you know it's a Kyogre? I mean, the name was in Japanese.
Yes, Justin. At this point, having commentated many games this year, we should be able to recognize the Japanese names of the legendaries by now.
I still
So
do
Kyogre
not.
sets out the rain for the Azumarill, a very dangerous decision.
Oh, but Azumarill
But
actually retreats.
turns out. So Kenny actually making the call, predicting that his opponent will not stay in to get Sucker Punch.
Brings in the Aegislash to threaten the Bronzong here. Man should be able to fire for free attack. I don't think it's enough. I mean, even if it does carry the Fire Blast or the off chance, it's not going to work.
It's
in the
raining,
rain. Yeah,
Justin. It's raining.
exactly.
And we do see the voice come
twice.
out. It's not going to do a lot of damage.
And
Ronto gets the crit again though.
it goes for the
And
Gyro Ball.
into the Salamence. No, actually trying to pick off the Azumarill and does a pitiful amount of damage. Who will recover it all back to platformers.
Now the Bronzong is being threatened by the Aegislash.
But the Aegislash goes for the attack. Then he can't. But I suppose now he just wants to attack. Since Kenny's not going to want to Origin Pulse this turn.
Ice Beam onto the Mans.
So Kenny's still in a very awkward position here.
Yeah.
There's no way to bring down the Aegislash quickly. And he needs the Bronzong alive.
I mean, the only saving grace for him, I feel, is that he hasn't set up Trick Room, so he does have the option of the Scarf Smeargle at the back.
But it also means that Salamence is a big threat here.
Yeah, I mean, the play he could do is, if he predicts the Aegislash Shadow Ball onto the Bronzong, he could switch out that slot into the Smeargle, which will be immune to the Shadow Ball. And we do see
that play come out. Both of his switches actually will be immune to Shadow Ball.
Ooh, Kangaskhan. Yep,
We're going to see
you're
Origin
right,
Pulse
yeah.
come out for Kenny.
No, Ice Beam.
Ice Beam will come out into the Azu slot. So go pick up a KO. And I think we are going to see Shadow Ball come out from Zhen Yuan's side of the field. Putting him in a very awkward situation in Blade form. So actually no, it's not that bad for Zhen Yuan. Because if he White Guards, he gets to dodge both the Sucker Punch and the Origin Pulse.
Yeah, but at this point, I did recall you saying Kyogre has the Ice Beam, which could easily bring down the Mans, I feel. And Kangaskhan is a fresh switch in, so he can fake out the Mans as well.
Yes. I wonder if Zhen Yuan realizes that because, Kangaskhan switched in last turn.
Okay,
Oh yeah, he does realize that, so he protects his Salamence. I think he's going for the double protect here. Oh, actually no. Fakes out into the... And Thunder into the Aegislash slot, went for the Shadow Ball into the Kyogre. So
Thunder.
Blade form Thunder does take it fairly well. Shadow Ball into the Kyogre, not going to do a lot of damage. And Kyogre still, I think, in a position to take both of Salamence and Aegislash attacks. And Aegislash kind of forced to King Shield
or White
or
Guard.
get Sucker Punch.
Yeah, definitely.
At the same time though, Zhen Yuan's Aegislash has to be his priority right now. As long as he can keep Aegislash alive, he doesn't really have to worry about anything coming from Kenny's side of the field. Since at this point, his Salamence will pick off the Kangaskhan. Even if he goes down to the Ice Beam, as long as he keeps Aegislash alive, he still has a very good chance in this battle.
Well, Zhen Yuan is actually down to his last two here, so losing the Mans might be the nail in the coffin here.
As Kyogre actually chooses to protect, Kenny playing a bit defensively. As Hyper Voice goes into the Kangaskhan.
I think he wants to sacrifice Kangaskhan so he can bring in his Scarf Smeargle for the
that's
lockdown.
true. But he kind of gave out a free Sucker Punch there. I'm not sure why he didn't Sucker Punch. If he was going to sack it anyway.
Yeah.
A very questionable play for Kenny there.
Perhaps he didn't see to all his outs, but he does bring in the Smeargle. The control factor is there.
But at the same time, well, I suppose Kyogre wants to be Ice Beaming here. But since Salamence didn't protect last turn, Salamence can protect again this turn.
Oh, the Aegislash definitely will be taking a Dark Void irregardless. White Guard won't save him. King's Shield won't save it either.
So he just has to hope to dodge the Dark Void here. Well, Kenny will be firing the Ice Beam into the Salamence.
Hoping maybe Zhen Yuan goes a bit too aggressive.
The thing about Kenny is that even if he mispredicts, as long as he lands the Dark Void, he's still in a decent position. As Dark Void will go, and it will land on Aegislash. So no avoid for Aegislash with no way to protect it as well. So it stays in Blade form though. And I think a Thunder could pick it off here, if he went for the Thunder. No, but Kenny's still making the safe plays, Ice Beams into the Salamence, and he just takes his first turn of sleep. The thing is, because he took a first turn of sleep, he can actually wake up and wake up next turn if he chooses to.
But at this point, I don't think that's what
Kenny
he
wants to
be
pick up
doing.
the Ice Beam here.
Yes.
Since Salamence already protected last turn. And Zhen Yuan, really, at this point, he cannot be fishing for a double. He has to be playing to his outs here. At least hope. I think his chance here is to try to avoid Dark Void and land a Draco Meteor crit on the Kyogre. And he just realizes that even if he's going to stay asleep, he must not sleep in shield form.
Much safer. Yeah, I mean, if
Dark Void lands on the Salamence, so Salamence not able to avoid the Dark Void and will eat the Ice Beam.
If Zhen Yuan manages to take out the Kyogre somehow, all Kenny has at the back is the Bronzong, the Smeargle being locked into Dark Void, the Aegislash will easily be able to take out the Bronzong. So,
as Ice Beam will pick up the Salamence and leave Aegislash against the wall, and Aegislash really will go down to repeated Thunders at this point. Kenny could even switch Smeargle out and transform into Aegislash coming back in if he chose to.
indeed.
I think he's going to do that actually. Bronzong is dead weight anyway. So he's going to sit out the game by switching Smeargle out, hoping to lock himself to transform later in the game.
Well, at this point as well, I think Kenny is free to use Origin Pulse for the stand move. He doesn't have to rely on the Thunder since...
Well, Kenny actually stays in with Dark Void, and Origin Pulse lands on the Aegislash, single target in the rain, should bring Aegislash down.
Yep. Takes the KO, and this will bring us to a game 3.
So Kenny redeems his honor somewhat after losing game 1 to a team without...
It's still a bit close actually, still cutting it a bit close.
Closer than Kenny would have liked. And I think, at this point, I think Kenny should kind of realize that Bronzong is not doing anything for him in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Aegislash is something that Zhen Yuan wants to bring for the White Guard, and Bronzong just doesn't like the matchup.
And we kind of see the problem with Kenny's team right now. In any situation where he cannot bring both primals because they kind of conflict, he doesn't have the requisite support mons to replace the primal slot.
Indeed.
All of Kenny's offense is being generated by his primals.
And that is all being negated by just a single Pokemon that Zhen Yuan has to bring, and Zhen Yuan has 3 other slots he can play with. Yeah. And the Whimsicott also kind of limits his support options a bit, I feel.
I suppose one option Kenny can consider here, of course, is turning his Smeargle into another primal. Which is kind of what he needs to do at this point to generate offense, if he's only going to be one of his primals.
That still doesn't really solve the problem, because even if he has one more primal, they're still going to get locked down. I mean, it's going to be even locked down more if he locks himself into a spread
It's a problem for Kenny because Aegislash is locking him down, and his best option for the Aegislash is his own Groudon, who has to worry about Hydro Pump from Salamence.
Well, and the Groudon, yeah, as you mentioned that, and there is the Whimsicott Worry Seed combo as well, so that he can't rely on the weather to save him.
So I don't expect Kenny to change his leads. I definitely expect to see Smeargle again, since Zhen Yuan has shown that he really has no way to stop the Smeargle. Maybe turn on the Whimsicott, which will again force the fake out from Kangaskhan as well. So Kenny, no real reason to change up his leads, but whether he wants to bring his primals this time remains to be seen.
I think he has no other choice.
Yeah, the Bronzong is just not giving him enough offense in this matchup.
The Mans as well is not really doesn't bring much to the table, especially in the department of beating the Aegislash.
Blaziken does hit the field, hoping to take down the Kangaskhan this time.
Oh, and we do not see a Whimsicott actually, but we do see a Mans and a Smeargle. The Mans
Kenny actually calling the lead pretty well, not protecting his Smeargle with the fake out, calling that Whimsicott will not lead this time, and getting Intimidate onto the Blaziken. Though Salamence kind of has to be wary of HP Ice on the Blaziken.
Well, I guess that's one way to beat the Smeargle with a Scarf, especially since Zhen Yuan should have caught on by now, since Kenny locked himself into one move the previous game. So you outspeed the Smeargle by protecting.
Yes. So Zhen Yuan no reason to not double protect this turn. And Kenny, I'm surprised Kenny actually didn't switch one of his Pokemon out.
He actually goes for the Mega as well.
This could actually end really badly for Kenny.
Yeah, I mean now the Smeargle doesn't have the Sash, will be able to be KO'd by the Blaziken
and
here.
I think we are seeing a double protect from Zhen Yuan's side of the field. And Kenny really lost the chance to switch out here.
Yep, and the double protect comes out. Maybe he goes for the Tailwind from the Mans. Smeargle goes for the Dark Void.
He really needs it.
Yes.
He did go for
the
it.
Tailwind.
Yes.
So all is not lost on Kenny's side of the field.
And Zhen Yuan is now stuck in a very, very awkward position.
Yeah, I mean, let's
on
not
the
talk
bright
about
side
the Dark Void.
though, on the bright side, Zhen Yuan, now that Zhen Yuan has seen Tailwind, he actually now doesn't have to worry about Draco Meteor from the Salamence.
Are you sure? Why not?
Because it's very unlikely that Kenny carries Draco Meteor when he carries Tailwind as well.
Okay, because I was going to say that forget about the Dark Void. Now that Kenny's Mans outspeeds Zhen Yuan's Mans, he should watch out for the Draco Meteor. But if he doesn't have the Draco Meteor, then that's another story. So the chips will all fall on
Blaziken
whether
has to switch
Smeargle.
out here already.
Are you sure? Maybe
Because
a Dark
he's-
Void miss.
No, he will go down to Hyper Voice, even if Dark Voice doesn't miss. Since we expect Blaziken to be carrying Life Orb in this matchup. And yeah, since we've seen Sash on Whimsicott already. So
Yes.
Blaziken cannot take a Hyper Voice, it will go down immediately.
Are you sure? I mean, it is a neutral.
It's Blaziken. Hyper Voice will KO Blaziken. It's super effective, Justin.
No, it's fire, fighting, fire. Oh, yeah, correct. I was thinking fairy for some reason, sorry.
Are you Skylar in disguise?
Alright, and Blaziken does
Yes,
switch
and
out
he
as you
expected-
called it. Yep. And he brings
Azumarill
the
will come in to
Azumarill.
take the Hyper Voice. And the Dark Void for that matter. And Dark Void will avoid the Azumarill
And
and avoid the
avoid the
Salamence as
Salamence.
well.
Goes for the Hyper Voice. What does Zhen Yuan
Draco
go for
Meteor.
here?
Yes, we go for Draco Meteor. He does not get the miss. And Draco Meteor will kill Kenny's Salamence. Kenny getting the double miss there. A very unfortunate turn for Kenny.
Yeah, well,
But that's the dice you roll when you play Smeargle.
indeed. And Kenny it just had to be unfortunate enough for the dice to fall out of his favor on the very last crucial game. So
He
does
really
have-
could have done with a miss on the Azumarill definitely, since he was coming in fresh, but he could not afford to miss the Salamence.
Yeah, indeed. So he's kind of lost a bit of momentum.
And the problem here for Kenny is that now that Zhen Yuan is not able to double attack to waste another turn of kill.
And I don't think Smeargle will be surviving from a rain boosted Aqua Jet.
Yeah, Smeargle has to switch really.
Yeah, and at this point, Kyogre, well, at the very least, Kyogre has the super effective options of both the Azumarill and the Mans with Thunder and Ice Beam. Question is, how long
The
will
Mets is
the
going to
Tailwind?
protect at this point. There's no reason for Zhen Yuan not to double attack unless the Azumarill does not have its choice.
Smeargle
its choice
stays
item.
in as well. That's... Oh, Azumarill actually goes for the Aqua Jet here.
I think the Azumarill is either Assault Vested or choiced. So not able to protect. And it's a free KO there, why not take it?
And we,
Origin Powers in the rain. He's not going to land as well.
another unfortunate miss for Kenny. And he brings in his Groudon here. Okay.
A strong choice actually. But now, the problem is now it's the last turn of Tailwind, and Zhen Yuan can just switch out his Salamence.
I mean, it kind of... But at the same time, it kind of locks his Kyogre into Ice Beam. Thunder is going to have like a 50% accuracy in the rain.
Yes.
Origin Pulse is not going to work. So Kyogre's options of offense here are quite limited.
Zhen Yuan really wants to switch his Mans out here. He can't afford to lose Mans, because without the Mans, he really has no way of bringing down the Groudon.
Well, he does have one more slot left.
Unlikely to be good against Groudon.
Yeah,
Aegislash,
Aegislash perhaps,
probably.
yes.
So Mans is already going to switch out here. So Kenny needs to punish the switch. Kenny really cannot afford to just Ice Beam into a Aegislash switch in at this point. He has to punish you with a Precipice Blades at least.
Well, I think the safest option for Kenny will be Precipice Blades and the Ice Beam. What can he hope to catch? The Aegislash will be nailed by the Precipice
So will
Blades.
Blaziken. So whatever comes in is probably going to be killed by Precipice Blades if it lands.
Well, seeing Kenny's luck, Dark Void double miss, Origin Pulse miss. He has to hit one move, right?
That's Gambler's fallacy, Justin.
Yes, I know, but at the same time, there's not much he can really do.
Yeah, Kenny really has to nail this turn. If he messes this turn up, he cannot recover.
And we do see the Mans retreat. Actually, now will now be a good choice
Yes,
to
he
see.
do see Aegislash. He needs to nail it with a Precipice Blades.
Or ideally even a Fire Punch. Oh, okay, I do think the Azumarill is banded. Ice Beam goes into the Aegislash. What does Groudon go for here?
He has to nail it with a Precipice Blades here. Can he land? He lands both. Can he take out the Aegislash? It's a damage roll on Aegislash, which will go down. We are going down to his last two, one of which is Blaziken, who is useless in this matchup, I would say.
I do think the fighting... I don't think it should be able to take out the Kyogre, which will be proved problematic for Kenny to take out the Mans.
But Kyogre itself at this point is not threatening the Blaziken either. Barring a 50% Thunder and additional 30% Paralysis.
I kind of feel it's... Blaziken would want to try and...
Oh, but the thing is, I just realized, Groudon is untouchable. There is no worry seed.
Blaziken should have a fighting move.
He has to double into Groudon and leaving yourself open to the Ice Beam from Kyogre. And I don't think he has a choice. Groudon can just P-Blaze to pick off the Blaziken, who is not Sash, and Kyogre go for the Ice Beam.
Actually, no, I think Kenny can just go for a Rock Slide here, I think.
No, I don't think Kenny really wants. I think Kenny needs the KO on the Kenny needs to pick up KOs quickly. Or because I think, or maybe protect his Groudon. Because the most obvious play here is to double into the Groudon.
Really? I thought it would be more of to double into Kyogre, take it out, and you can try and gang up on the Groudon.
As Salamence chooses to protect from the Ice Beam, Kenny go for Precipice Blades. Or actually goes for double protect here. I'm not entirely sure. I suppose when your only choice is to double into Pokemon, doesn't matter whether
you might as well get a speed boost at the same time.
Doesn't actually matter whether you double protect, since you're not going to be protecting next turn anyway.
Indeed. Oh yeah, and Tailwind has run out I think the previous turn as well. So
yeah, he ran out before this already.
Blaziken.
So he has to pick his double target here.
Yes.
And I think he double protected, hoping to see who Kenny protected. So that he could double into that slot, but Kenny didn't fall for it.
So now it is still a 50-50 matchup, 50-50 chance on what Zhen Yan doubles into.
I think he has to double into Groudon, which is the bigger threat here.
I do feel Kyogre will be the more strategic option.
Yeah, the thing is, I think a double into Groudon might not take it out. Oh, I suppose Draco Meteor will do a lot of damage though. But Blaziken I think might not do enough superpower.
Well, regardless of what he targets into, it will be all for North if Kenny protects the right one.
Yes. And if Kenny survives, oh, he has high jump kick, which is all the more important that he needed to protect. I think he's hoping to get Hyper Voice here.
Yes, he does get the Hyper
He's
Voice.
not getting the KO on Kyogre. He's not getting the KO on Kyogre.
Oh, he does get. There's a critical here on the Groudon. But he does get the KO. And Groudon does go for the Precipice Blaze, which should hit.
Oh, yeah, Kenny loses. This is it for Kenny. Kenny will lose, will go down to Draco Meteor next turn. Or even a single target Hyper Voice.
That's why I felt it was more strategic to take out the Kyogre because the Groudon versus Mance is faster. That can't really threaten the one-hit KO on the... Yep.
And a really, really, really unwise decision to Draco Meteor there. He had a KO with Hyper Voice. I am not sure what he was thinking.
Well, but he does pick up the KO here, and Kenny does lose the first round.
To a non-legendary, to a non-restricted legendary.
Well, to his opponent's credit, his team, as mentioned, was tailored for the matchup. We did see the Worry Seed, we did see the Hydro Pump from the Mance, and the AG Slash White Guard being very, very effective against the dual primals of Kenny.
But a very poor choice on that last turn. Honestly, he had no reason to Draco Meteor. The single target Hyper Voice was obviously going to be enough to KO. I have no idea what he was doing Draco Meteoring there.
At that point in time, I feel that I think even if he did go for the less optimal play, the odds were still in his favor. Kenny doesn't really have a means to take out.
There was no reason to go for a suboptimal play there. Kenny also had a single target Rock Slide, let's not forget, which would have KO'd his Salamence.
I'm not really sure about that, bro, but okay. Yeah.
No, I'm fairly certain of that. His Salamence was down to around 60%.
Yes,
So
around
Draco
there.
Meteor, it basically gave him a 10% chance of losing a game, which was sealed. That game was over. He just had to Hyper Voice and it was over.
Well, irregardless, Kenny
Do not
loses.
say irregardless ever again.
Regardless,
Yes.
Kenny loses his first match. Well, he still does have 5 more matches which he can pick himself up.
That was not the start he wanted.
Yes.
Especially against a team which now that kind of the rest of the tournament field has gotten a chance to see. I don't think it's going to fare as well, honestly. And that is going to tank Kenny's resistance even if he does recover. But then again, I suppose I shouldn't be cursing Zhen Yan prematurely. He played very well that set. There's no reason he can't continue.
I think one of the factors that might have contributed to Kenny's loss would have been the accuracy of the moves. The Dark Void. I mean, if Dark Void had hit or his Precipice Blaze had hit, maybe things would have been slightly more in his favor.
Kenny revealed a very, very big weakness to White Guard there, honestly. He really... I think it's kind of the reason why Dual Primal Kyogres tend to run with the Water Spout Squall combination. Because it gives them at least a single target step attack to take out things like AG Slash.
Well, in this matchup though, I think Kenny having Ice Beam was the right call. Thunder, maybe not so much. Yeah, maybe if he had a single
Thunder,
target.
I suppose the problem with Kenny's team, honestly, is that his offense is so predicated on his primals that he kind of is forced to run Thunder on Kyogre to hit opposing Kyogre because he doesn't have that many good options. He has too many support mounts on his team. That Kyogre becomes a big threat without Thunder on his team.
And we did see, I mean, he didn't really utilize his trick room mode as well with the Bronzong, instead choosing to lead with trying to match speed for speed, bringing the Scarf
I think that was the right decision in the end in Game 3. He just didn't really juggle his mons correctly. And I suppose we'll be bringing Zhen Yan on for interview as well. So we'll be back shortly. Alright, I am back with the winner of the round 1 Swiss game that we just saw between Kenny and Zhen Yuan. So congratulations Zhen Yuan on winning your round 1.
Thank you.
Especially with a team that does not contain restricted legendaries. Can you tell me more about that thought process?
To be fair, I think I just tested my thing because I wanted an unconventional win.
Yep.
So that I could actually counter all the conventional legendaries. And I guess I kind of got lucky also.
Especially in the game 3, but I think you realize in game 1 especially that Kenny's team just had no offense beyond his primal legendaries. So because he just had too many support Pokemon, and your EGC just shut down his primals very, very hard.
Oh, yes.
Which gave you a very strong matchup.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I think you saw in Kenny in game 2 and game 3, he kind of experiment with what he had to bring. Because he didn't want to bring both primals, he tried bringing one because of your EG slash. Because I think the thing is you did a very good job of countering legendaries with your non-legendaries, which gave Kenny a very bad position because his team is entirely reliant on legendaries. But I think the thing I need to point out is that did you realize that on your last turn, you took an unnecessary risk with Draco Meteor? Because Hyper Voice would have picked up the KO there.
I wanted to make... Sorry, excuse me. I actually wanted to make sure that I could finish his Groudon. I wasn't so sure if Hyper Voice would be...
A single target Hyper Voice would be enough at that point.
Yeah.
So I think you gave yourself a 10% chance of losing, which is a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
But I suppose it worked out anyway. So congratulations on the win. And I suppose I noticed you also changed up your team a bit. And I think you stopped bringing Regice from game 1 onwards, even though you did fairly well in game 1. So why did you choose to take it out for game 2 and 3?
Because I realized that he might actually realize that my Regice was really strong in special defense.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was kind of expecting him to kind of have a counter for Regice, which kind of came true because he sent out his Groudon. Yeah.
I suppose the thing I guess I want to know is that I think your Azumarill is either Assault Vest or Bandit.
Sorry?
Your Azumarill
Yes, that's correct.
is Assault Vest or Bandit?
That's
Assault
actually
Vest.
Bandit.
It's Bandit.
Yeah.
I suppose you have to wonder is why didn't you Aqua Jet on the turn he went for Dark Void? Or you were trying to fish for the 1 kill on Kangaskhan?
Yeah, I was trying to do that.
Yeah, I suppose that was a good play. And since he put you to sleep, you hadn't locked yourself into a move yet. So when you woke up, you could just fire off Aqua Jet in the rain. It was a very strong play. Right, so congratulations once again. I'm interested to see how well your team can carry you the rest of the rounds. Especially, I suppose, well, we've seen your game plan against Dual Primals, and it worked out very well. I'm interested to see whether your game plan works as well against perhaps the Xerneas as well.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I'm pretty sure you're going to encounter one at some point, and we'll be interested to see how you fare. So good luck the rest of your rounds.
Yeah, looking forward to more opponents.
Right, thank you. And we'll be proceeding on, and we'll be back with, I think, round 2 of Swiss after this.
Alright.